Ever wonder how those pros make those silky smooth initial takeaways and those inevitable beautiful backswings?
For me, what's really simple, I just try to keep the club in front of me, and then from there it works up on the right plane, and then it makes the downswing easier.
Most good players have one thing in common, and that's a good overall swing plane. Stick around, and what I'm going to show you here today is how you can build and use your own swing plane board at a relatively inexpensive price point. So let's get right into this. What I'm going to show you here, and I've got a yardstick, I'm going to give you some of my dimensions here of my swing plane board, and what's really cool about this is you can customize this any way you like. I should mention first off that this is very, very light. However, it's very, very sturdy. When you go to buy some foam pieces, you want to make sure that they are sturdy, because when you make your backswing here, your takeaway, you want some firmness to this. I can't express that enough. If you get something too squishy, like a bed mattress, for example, it's just too squishy. It's not going to work. You can do searches on the internet and you can find foam pieces. Amazon, I've seen plenty of foam pieces there as well. This top piece is 4 feet long. Now, you can have one longer. I have seen and actually used swing plane boards that were longer, upwards of 6 feet, maybe even could have been even longer than that actually. I would not go any less than 4 feet. You want some room to work with, so you want some width. You want this to be at least 4 feet. The leg here, this piece, is about 20 inches. And of course, there are the two legs, if you will. And I've also got this centerpiece for stability. I would highly recommend you have a centerpiece as well. You want stability with your swing plane board. The dimension of these legs right here, this is 2 inches. As far as how I attached this was done with a heat gun with some glue sticks, and just simply attached it that way. You can use some Elmer's glue. Cutting it is quite easy as well, using an X-Acto knife. Do it however you need to do it as far as, attaching it and cutting it, but it's quite simple. And this top piece here as well, this piece here, 4 feet long as I mentioned, and same thing, it's 2 inches wide. I want to show you this next because people will ask me often, what is the angle of this? Now, it's approximately 45 degrees. However, that may not be right for you. Now, what I mean by that is this. When we set up with a good address position, we want the end of the grip pointed at the belt line or the waistline. Now, when I do that, for me, you can see that this angle is not proper because you can see all the room here between the shaft and the swing plane board. You want the shaft flush to the swing plane board. That's the whole intent of this. So what I need to do is I typically will just take a golf ball and I will put it underneath the main leg here, and that gives me a pretty good angle. So now when I set up with the end of the grip at the belt line, the waistline, now you can see the shaft is indeed flush to the board. Because those of you that are making faulty backswings, whether you're pushing the hands and club out, you can see you are instantaneously off plane. Conversely, those of you that take the club too inside, too behind you, too flat, too around you, however you want to describe it, where the club is working back to here, and then you lift up and go over the top and cut across from outside in. Here we go again, another pull left or a slice to the right.
Well, I think once the club gets behind you early, it just becomes more of a struggle.
And I'm going to show you something really cool in just a moment, utilizing the laser club that I have. And that's a cool video you could watch as well. I'll put that right here in the corner. The laser club. There's different laser devices out there. Watch that one. It's really cool. You'll get a very good idea of how your swing plane can be very much improved with a laser club or training aid. So as I get set to the board, the shaft is flush. From here, the objective with good turn of the body. I preface that in so many of my videos because I'll see students all too often making backswings, whether they're on plane or off plane, hopefully on plane, but where they're not utilizing the body properly. We might make a on plane backswing like this here, but if my lower body is frozen, I'm not very powerful as I'm working up to the top. So we want the turn, that has to happen. But when you do this, not only do you want to visually see what is happening, but you also want to hear what's happening. And again, that's why you need a sturdy board, because you're almost going to feel like there's a little pressure being applied in this region of the shaft here as you're working it back, especially for those of you that lift your hands, the butt end of the grip up, out, and away from you. You're instantly off the board. There's no pressure being applied to this part of the shaft. So it's going to be a great, different opposing feel to you when you feel a little bit of that pressure there. So now, as I work this back, good turn of the body. And as I always tell my students, as we break free from the edge of the board here, that's about roughly where you'd like to start to typically get some hinging involved with the wrists. And when that happens, as I'm in this position here, halfway back, I'm essentially forming this letter L position where the end of the grip is pointed at the target line. From there, as I work to the top, I'm in a beautiful position here. I now have every chance and opportunity in the world to then shallow this club or question your swing. That's another great video. Take a look at that one right here, where it's a little play on words where I say, hey, do you question your swing? And most people chuckle and say, man, I question everything in my swing. Something I've been talking about for 40 years, and where the downswing has a little, what I term a little semblance, that of a question mark. You'll get a very good idea what I'm talking about when you see that video that I put there a moment ago. Utilizing the laser club, this is really, really cool. So there's a laser dot that's on the, actually I'll use the yardstick here. We'll use this as a target line there. Let me actually move this just a little bit more over here. There we go. So now there is a laser dot on the end and a laser dot up above here. Unfortunately, you can't find this. They don't make this anymore, but there are other laser products out there. However, as I swing this back, that laser dot is working dead nuts along that yardstick there. And then from here, as I break free from the edge here with the turn of the body, now as I hinge the wrists, you can see the laser dot worked right along the yardstick, and there it is pointed at my target line. From there, as I then work to the top, as I then come down, I'm getting this move here. The hands, the club head work a little behind me. I'm questioning my swing. I'm getting the club to shallow. And then, especially for those of you that come down over the top this way, the shaft, the club head works over here. You're going to want to feel like, when you're at the top, you are working down and you're going to feel like you're behind your swing plane board. Now that's a little overcooked. That's a little too shallow, a little too dramatic, but it is not working this way over the top. I say it this way to my students all the time. I love doing opposites. If you're doing scenario A, I want you to literally do, as you're practicing, scenario Z, the total polar opposite. So if you felt like you were coming down behind your swing plane board, that's a nice little rehearsal move here. As you're moving and shifting your weight towards the target. Now, if you had your laser club here and you hinged beautifully like this and you came down, you'd like to get right back here on the board. From there, the laser dot is right back along the target line. And as I work through post-impact with a little bit of release, my hands, wrists, and forearms, I'm closing the club face through the hitting zone in order to hit some draws. Now as the wrists re-hinge, you can see the laser dot is pointed at the target line right there. And then I would work into my full complete balanced finish. Now, if we go back to the normal club right here, and while I'm thinking about it, what I would do is, if you've already made a swing plane board, please put in the comments below what has worked well for you, what materials you may have used, the dimensions you may have used. I love the comments. I love reading those. I reply to everyone. And my number one goal with my channel is to help golfers worldwide. That's my ultimate goal, to help you help golfers worldwide. And if they read your comments on maybe how you built your board, maybe it's even better than this one, it'll help other golfers. So please put some comments. But when we go back to our normal club here, you work to the top, you feel the club working along the board, you feel a little pressure here. As I turn the body, I break free from the board, I hinge the wrists, I'm set beautifully here, and then as I slowly start coming down, I want to get that to match right back up on the corner, and then I can feel this shaft and see it flush along the board as I work into and through impact. I'm telling you right now, if you can better the overall plane of your swing, you will absolutely see better results. And as you work on this, I would dedicate as much time to this as you possibly can. I'm not talking 2 minutes a day. I'm talking, if you can work on this 15, 20 minutes a day and just ingrain this feel, this is going to help dramatically. Now, I've got other great videos that I've talked about regarding takeaway. I'll put one of them right here in the corner as well. It's where I simply used a coffee table. I've done that for 30 plus years with students. Quite frankly, it doesn't get any easier or more simple than that. Watch that one. You'll get a great idea of how to make another perfect initial takeaway and better your backswing. It even helps a little bit with downswing as well. If you can't use a coffee table, or you can't use the bottom of your bed or something like that, then you can also utilize the bottom of a golf cart. So I've got some really cool videos. Take a look on my channel there, on my other videos. I know those are going to help you. So work on this, and I'd love to hear your comments. And as always, simply subscribe to my channel, and I offer you a free swing analysis. You'll see down below, the first pinned comment is a link to my website, where we would utilize the free V1 Swing app. From there, you can send me your swings. I'll do the free analysis. I'd love to help.